Can you give us a read on the probe?
Yes, I'm going to do that. And that is, listen, we've been expecting more arrests for a long time. It's interesting, the conversation that you were just having about the importance within the hedge funds of really enhancing and refocusing on the compliance procedures that these funds have in place. Because not only are we looking at the 4 to 5 arrests today, we expect there are going to be more. This is part of the flipping process, and that is right now they're making the arrests of the lower to mid-level people whom they're hoping are going to cooperate against more senior individuals. But I think the breadth here is certainly clear and consistent with what we've been expecting. In some respects, I think it's fair to say that we were expecting these arrests some time ago, not even now.
Yeah, the names that we're running at the bottom of the screen right now that obviously you can't see, but I'll read off to you: Mark Longoria, Walter Shulman, and Manoush Karantolaka. Those are 3 of the names that we know. What we have heard is that one of the 5 was an executive involved. The other 3, unclear. It seems like they're research level there. But this does appear to go up to the executive level. Is this just the beginning of the trickle of names? Can we expect this to be more widespread?
Absolutely, and I think what you're highlighting is a critical issue, and that is, well, in many respects, what we're dealing with in these early cases is what I think we've talked about before, which is what I would call the classic insider trading, which is that you have inside officials within corporations who are providing material non-public information, maybe not directly to the parties trading, but providing that information to the people within these research networks, within these companies, who in turn are using that to profit from the services that they're providing, and in turn, hedge fund managers may or may not know the exact source of information. Again, now that you and I are benefiting from reading the criminal complaints that attach to these arrests, but I think we are going to see many more corporate officials actually charged, because you don't have insider trading unless somebody tips, unless somebody takes that information that is inside to a company and then passes it along, that results in the trading.
And one of those people who might have passed along that information looks perhaps to be James Fleischman. He was one who was charged by the U.S. with wire fraud and conspiracy. And looking at the LinkedIn profile on the Internet, he says that he, as part of an executive at Primary Global Research, closed businesses with over 30 new accounts since joining the firm back in 2006. He claims that includes institutional heavyweights with over $100 billion in assets under management. And Julie Hyman just forwarded me the profile of Walter Shulman, one of the names that we see up on the screen. If this is the right person, the same person, he is based in San Diego, and he's a vice president, it looks like, at VistaPoint Technologies, also known as Flextronics, so perhaps a unit of Flextronics, a contract manufacturer.
Jacob, can you give us some perspective on one of the things here that Scarlett's sort of throwing at us, the question of what is inside information? I mean, is there an expiration date if you're an executive coming from a firm and you know something? I mean, you can't move within the industry, right? You've got to non-compete. What can you do with the knowledge that you have? Can you share it, within a certain time frame?
No, I mean, a lot of it really depends on. I mean, inside information is proprietary to the corporation, and the proprietary and confidential nature of that information survives. There are, once a company has made public that information, or it really does not. I mean, one of the issues that really will become a considerable focus of the defense of these cases is going to be the materiality, as well as whether this information truly is non-public. Clearly, in the charging documents, the allegation is that it meets those criteria. But then you start figuring in, are there confidentiality agreements? Has the company in any way made public this information in some form? There are various considerations that could be provide significant assistance to the defense in these cases, and we're really going to have to see the precise allegations before we can really assess. Back to your question as to what is material, what is non-public, a lot of it really depends on what disclosures has the company made. I mean, what is the materiality to the company's business financial statements? It is not a simple answer. What the law says it is information that a reasonable investor would rely on in order to make an investment decision.
All right, Jacob, thank you for giving us your legal perspective here.